Coming up on Just Next Door, we've got an in-depth look at one of Philadelphia's oldest traditions.
Plus, over the next half an hour, we will be bringing you a number of exciting things happening around Philly. So if you're looking for a fun place to take the family for under $20, a hidden gems for food or shopping, or just want a place along to a trivia game against some Philadelphia's biggest fans, then make sure you stick around.
All of that and more coming up on the show, where we show you everything that's going on just next door. Everybody, and welcome to Just Next Door. I'm Khadijah Quaida.
And I'm Jay Goodson. And thank you for joining us. And we've got a packed show filled with features on things to do around Philly.
The first stop on our tour of Philadelphia's most interesting attraction is the observation deck on top of City Hall. This spot is placed for a date of family fun or just anyone who is looking for beautiful sights of the skyline of Philadelphia. Plus, at only $8 a ticket, a visit is affordable for anyone on a budget in this edition of Money and Problems.
So when you go up to the tower, you go up to the 9th floor of this building. There's an exhibit where you can read about the building and the history, and then a small little elevator takes you up to the observatory. It's a little shifty, but that's what makes it fun. That's part of the adventure. And when you're going up, you can actually see the City Hall clocks from the inside. That's a little hidden gem that most people don't know about. And then when you're up there, you get to see the William Penn statue from the top. That statue stands at 37 feet tall, so it's really massive, though from the ground it doesn't look it. And you can take in, so City Hall is right in the middle of the city. People forget that, right in the middle. So when you're walking or when looking around the observatory, it's a panoramic view that's 360. It's open air, so you can get a little cold, a little hot, but you can see the Comcast Center. You can see the Masonic Temple. You can see actually a lot of Philadelphia firsts. The first art school, where the first Girl Scout cookies were made and sold, first circus, all different kinds of things. So it's such a unique perspective, and it's not too tall where you feel like you're looking down. You're actually eye level with a lot of the buildings, which I think is really special.
Tower tour, you can only fit 4 people in the elevator. It's a 187-year-old elevator. It requires an operator to go up, and we sell it in 15-minute increments. It takes a while to get up there, and it's a really unique experience and perspective of the city. The City Hall Tower tour is only $8, so you really can't beat the price, and it's a really cool experience that you could form a day around. If you wanted to do the full interior tour, that's a guided tour every day at 12:30, and that will include the tower tour, but also a guided tour of the inside of City Hall, which is, you'll see the mayor's council room and lots of different, you'll see where the law library is. That's only $15, and that includes the tower tour, so still under $20, and you get a really cool experience and something different to do that a lot of people don't realize.
Looks like the observation deck is great for peoples from all over the world who are looking for views from the Broad and Market that you can't get anywhere else. The observation deck is open weekdays from 9 to 5, 16 and select Saturdays from 11 to 4.
The City Hall isn't the only place to go in Philly on a budget, though. Latitudes and Longitudes is a boutique on Main Street in Manning that offers homemade, reasonable price items that make great gifts for anyone on your shopping list. As a staple of the neighborhood for over 3 decades, we stopped by to find out what keeps locals coming back all these years.
The store's been here for 36 years, so it's something that people know I'm a staple of Manayunk.
Snuggled into a row of fun restaurants and shops on beautiful Main Street in Manayunk lies Latitudes and Longitudes, a gift shop filled to the brim with locally crafted items. The store has such a variety of things, you'll be able to find something for anyone on your shopping list.
I try to be a one-stop shop where you can come in and you can buy for grandma, you can buy for Fido, you can buy for your husband, you can buy for yourself.
The thing that keeps bringing regulars back after 3 decades is a lineup of hilarious cards that are certainly different from what you'll find at your local Hallmark store.
So the previous owner, she has these cards that are pretty raunchy, pretty funny. Basically, the people are coming back because they know the cards are here, so I have to constantly keep up with cards.
Latitudes and Longitudes brings a small town shop feel to the streets of Philadelphia. In fact, they pride themselves on supporting local craftsmen who are looking for an outlet to sell their artfully designed products.
We're about supporting local. About 95% of it is handmade from the U.S. I handpick everything.
The thing that really makes Latin Long stand out among the other stores on Main Street, however, is the love of the community that they call home.
The biggest thing that I bring in here that I noticed that was missing out of Manayunk is that people love the name Manayunk, love the town. People love their towns. So I work with a couple companies that actually customize the wood blocks. What's really great about this community is that we have a lot of small businesses up and down Main Street. We're mostly female, and we all get along and we all try to offer different things in the store. So if someone's carrying a line, I don't want to carry that line because I want to offer something different.
I'm loving the designer soaps, by the way. I'm Matt Pissarro, signing off.
If you are a local craft maker and you are interested in selling your products at Longitudes and Latitudes, then feel free to email Meredith at meredith@live@latitudeandlongitudes.com.
If you don't have time to get out of and do things for your cheap, here are some things you can do for cheap at home, along with some skills that can be useful for life's challenges.
Hello, I'm Isaiah Clark, and I think life's hard. So with the help of our friends Khadija and Jason, we're going to be showing some life hacks I looked up online and ranking them out of 10. One of the hardest things in life is waiting for all to cool. So left this water bottle out overnight. And for this hack, all you need is a roll of paper towels and a faucet.
So all you need to do here is wet a paper towel. The wetter the better. And then all you have to do is wrap your bottle in it.
This hack takes about 15 minutes. So we're going to put this in the freezer and come back to it later. As a fashionista, I always saw myself in a closet space when I buy new clothes. So what's the solution for that? Soda can tabs. Where'd you get those soda can tabs, you may ask? All you gotta do is slide one hook on that soda can tab, then slide another one of those bad boys in there, and there you go. More space in your closet. So yeah, this one actually worked really well. Just don't drink 12 Pepsi in one night like I did. Your tongue will start hurting. I'll give this one 8 out of 10. So I think it's time we check on our water bottle real quick. Oh, it seems unwrapped. I don't know why. So it froze. I think it's 3 out of 10. Wait, I just thought of one. 10 out of 10. Quick aside, you can find tons of paper clip binder things on hacks like online, but you need like the big ones. So unless you want to go to like Office Depot, you can't actually do these, so like 0 out of 10. So to recap, soda can tabs, pretty good. Soda cans, pretty good. That sucks. This looks like trash. Binder clips suck, and don't interrupt the water. Thanks, Khadija and Jason, for joining me, and I'll see you next time. That probably won't be enough.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will take a look at the Mummers and their history and how they've become so significant to the celebration in Philadelphia. Hey, watch the Salle TV. You know you watch.
Man, Keegan is taking this You Know You Watch thing way too seriously.
You Know You Watch with Salle TV.
What you reading, loser? Nothing, man. I'm just trying to study for this task coming up. You know, you gotta keep up with work. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'm trying to study. Leave me alone.
Hey man, leave him alone. He's trying to study.
All right, man. You got it.
Welcome back to Just Next Door, and we're taking you on a tour of some of Philadelphia's most interesting and fun features.
The Mummers are one of Philadelphia's oldest transitions and one of the longest running paragraphs in the country. Despite this expensive history, most people don't know too much about their origins and how the parade has evolved over the decades. Recently, we went down to the Mummers Museum in South Philadelphia to find out more about the story of the round animal festivity. Check it out.
Mummery today is a celebration of something new, and that translates from the early settlers when they were shooting off the guns and banging the pots and pans to ward off the demons and the bad from the previous year to celebrate the new year.
Here we stand before your door, as we stood the year before. Give us whiskey, give us gin, open the door, and let us in.
We recently visited the Mummers Museum and talked with their curator, Mark Montanaro.
Mummery in Philadelphia started, as far as we know, documentation-wise, back in the 1680s when the Swedes and the Finns arrived in what we call the neck of South Philadelphia, which is the area between the Schuylkill and the Delaware River. Today's parade consists of 5 divisions. We have the Fancy Division, which is the division known for beauty of suit, which has the large frame suits and back pieces. Then we have the Wench Brigades, who formed their own division in 2003. They are the traditional mummers. They carry the parasols and wear the wench dresses and the golden slippers. Then you have the comic division. We're known for our satire, poking fun at news events, politicians, etc. Then come the string bands, which is known as the Sound of Philadelphia. Their division formally started in 1915. Then there are the Fancy Brigades. The Fancy Brigades marched with the fancy clubs. They are known for high-intensity 4.5-minute shows that rival Broadway. When you come visit us at the museum, you're going to learn about the long tradition of mummery in Philadelphia, and you're going to see an array of displays which show suits from the early 1900s through today.
While many know the Mummers from their annual New Year's Day parades, Mummery in Philadelphia has a long and somewhat complicated history in the city of brotherly love.
Mummers Parade doesn't happen overnight. With the huge amount of planning going into, we wanted to learn more about what it means to be a mummer and the over 364 days in a year. Joining us now to talk about her experience is a member of Good Times Comics group, Christina DeLulu. Thank you for joining us, Christina.
Thank you for having me. All right.
So just tell us how you got into the Mummers and your overall experience with it.
Well, so the Mummers dates back to 1901. Obviously, I wasn't around then, so that's not when I joined. But I joined 2 years ago, 2017. One of my dad's best friends is actually affiliated with the Mummers. He's been a member of the group Good Timers for numerous years prior. And he actually asked my dad, hey, we need more people. Would you and your wife and your daughter would like to join us? And so we were all, sure, why not? Because the Mummers have been a huge part of my life personally. Not involved as a member, just by going to the parade as a kid. The Mummers was literally 4 blocks away. the parade. So I would, every New Year's, my mom, dad, and I, we would walk there, and I would see all the elaborate costumes and just the amount of people that would come out, just hundreds of people along the sides of the streets watching, and these routines and the people playing instruments, and I would always be amazed at, you know, the routines they were able to create, and then the amount of hours that goes into the mummers is amazing. So.
Wow, that was a good thing to say. So, what do you think is the best part about being a part of the mummers?
I think the best part about being a part of the mummers is the family aspect to it. As I've said, it dates back to 1901, so generations upon generations have been involved in this in these divisions, and I believe there's 3 different divisions. There's the string bands, there's the comics, and then there's also the fancy brigades, and each division is unique in their own way, and it's just seeing the amount of people that it brings out, families that come out, the families that are a part of it. It's all about family and keeping those traditions and connecting the old to the young, and that's what I love about the mummers, is that connection, that bridge, that it connects the old and the young.
I see.
I know we have some pictures of you to see a different costume that you wear during the parade. Can you explain to us the meaning of those costumes, the significance they have during the parade, and what the history is behind that?
So in the first picture, that was actually 2018. That was the theme of that was I think it was, we were rats, so we were street rats. And it was Putting on a Ritz was the song. And the amount of hours that goes into the costumes is insane. People prepare a year in advance. So the day after we perform, that's when ideas are being created, and the sketches for costumes are being created. So there's a gentleman involved in our specific comic. He is 95 years old. He's one of the eldest in our comic. And he actually created the costumes that you've seen in that photo, and he's been creating costumes for about 30 years. So he's really invested in this particular division, and also just the creation of the costumes, the sequence. It's just, once it all comes together, you really appreciate all aspects.
And how would you feel like the mummers connect to the South Philadelphia culture?
So as a resident of South Philly, the mummers have been an integral part of my personal experience living there, but also just South Philly as a whole, because it draws so many people, and it's also, dates back to like 100 years ago. So it's just, South Philly is unique in a sense because everybody knows everybody there. So it's like I'll be walking down the street and see 5 people I know, and that's the same thing for my parents. It's just because Philly is such a vast city, but South Philly is like a mini city on its own because everybody knows everybody. And the mummers is just, everybody is a part of it in some way. So we're all, we're all different, but this is something that brings us together.
Right. Do you have any more questions?
We appreciate you coming here, and we just want to thank you for coming and giving us the history about the mummers.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you. We're going to take time out our final break. When we come back, the Eagles might still our hearts every Sunday, but find out a small part of how they service our community after this.
Kind of lost to an egg.
An egg?
An egg.
How does a general lose to an egg?
The internet's to an egg.
There is a show for that. It's called Backstage Pass.
Did you see the new library plan?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're doing stuff in the library.
Oh. In the library?
Yeah.
The new library. There is a show for that called LTV News, where the action never stops.
I wonder how the basketball team is.
There is a show for that called Sports Live.
So are you a Carson Wentz or Nick Foles guy?
More of a Nate Sutterfield type.
Oh, really? Interesting. Wonder where we can hear about Philly sports.
There's a show for that called Sports Talk Philadelphia.
You like Family Feud?
Yeah.
You like all shows like that?
Yeah.
I wonder if LaSalle has a show like that. That'd be kind of cool.
There is a show for that called Q&A.
I really wish that we could just like display our talents.
Yeah, me too.
There is a show for that called Explorers Got Talent.
All this and more on LaSalle TV.
Welcome back to Just Next Door. For our next segment, Service with a Purpose, we will cover a nonprofit group that makes a great impact on the members of the community. For this installment, we have to look at the Time Philadelphia Eagles Autism Challenge.
We're very intentional with the word challenge. It's a physical challenge, it's a fundraising challenge, it's a challenge to bring people together, but more importantly, it's a challenge for people to think differently. The Eagles Autism Challenge is really to accomplish significant fundraising in the field of autism and invest that money into cutting-edge research that will have a transformational impact on families today and tomorrow. Eagles Autism Challenge was founded by our owner, Chairman and CEO Jeffrey Lurie. He has been a visionary leader in the cities, particularly as it pertains to football, and has always been committed to autism. And he felt that using our platform, the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFL, it was time to be a voice and an advocate for families with children on the autism spectrum. The physical opportunities to participate as a walker, a runner, or even a rider, have a sensory walk for families that, you know, again, maybe a 5K could be too overwhelming, but we wanted to make sure we offered an alternative to include everyone that day. And what makes this event really special is that the Eagles are in it with you. Our entire team, our players, our coaching staff, they're out there running, riding alongside of you, celebrating, putting your medal on you when you cross the 50-yard line finish. It just makes it really, really special from an event standpoint. Our goal is really to engage the entire community. Everyone can participate in this event in some way. First of all, I encourage people to learn more by visiting our website at eaglesautismchallenge.org. From there, it will take you to an overview of the event, but more importantly, it'll walk you through the registration process. You can sign up as an individual participant to either do the sensory walk, the 5K, or one of the cycling routes, or you can be a virtual participant if you're not available that day. But what all of that does, it makes you a part of our Eagles Autism Challenge community, and you will join with us as a leader to help us change the lives of others. Again, every dollar that every participant raised is invested into autism research. You can walk away feeling really good about being a part of that event, having amazing pictures to show your friends, you know, maybe a selfie with Carson Wentz, or you run into Jason Kelsey running the 5K, or Alshon riding, you know, his bike in the 15-mile. We think that this initiative is just what our city needs, and our families to, again, change their lives through the research and the programs.
It's truly amazing to see the impact that a football franchise or any large company can have on the lives of everyday people. The challenge has events every May, and we all can get involved by visiting eaglesautismchallenge.org.
And sticking with the Philadelphia sports theme, Josh Abrams traveled down to the Philadelphia Sports Complex to find out just how much the best fans in sports know about their teams.
Hi, I'm Josh Abrams. We are here at the Wells Fargo Center today as the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James visit the Philadelphia 76ers at 3:30. We're going to ask fans questions of Philly trivia on this week's edition of Fast Facts Philly. The Wells Fargo Center has been home to many classic moments in Philadelphia sports history. Before the Wells Fargo Center, it was the Wachovia Center, and before that, it was the Spectrum, where the Spectrum hosted both Flyers Stanley Cup championships. All right, so the first question I'm going to ask you guys is, how many championships do the Philadelphia 76ers have in their franchise?
Yeah, I think one.
I believe the answer is 2.
4?
Wrong, you were really close.
3.
It's 3, yeah. Who is the Sixers' all-time leader in points scored?
Will Chamberlain.
That's you right there. That's you.
Moses Malone? Incorrect. It's actually Hal Greer.
Hal Greer.
So the Sixers most recently got Boban Marjanovic, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know what country he hails from?
Croatia.
That's a weird country. I don't know. I'm just gonna guess like Latavia, somewhere from there.
Incorrect. The answer is actually Serbia.
Really? Serbia.
And that will do it for Fast Facts Philly. Reporting in Philadelphia, I'm Josh Abrams.
Episode edition of Philadelicious. We'll time to use the Trolley Car Cafe. The cafe is a great place to get breakfast with the family or conduct business over coffee. This cozy spot, located right off Kelly Drive, is East Falls. Offers outdoor seating in the summer and a nice selection of quick, comfort food.
Just off of the Kelly Drive, there's a quaint cafe with an old-time feel. The Trolley Car Cafe offers patrons a healthy meal and a place to go after a run down the Schuylkill River Trail.
We don't have any guests, so most restaurants that don't have guests don't have fryers. We do not have a fryer. We try to be as healthy as possible. You know, people coming off the drive, obviously they're exercising and want to take care of themselves.
The cafe doesn't just offer food. It offers a nostalgic feeling of home.
When I first started working here, I really wanted this to be, well, this is my home away from home, and so I wanted people to feel like that when they came here. Just even the servers and how down-to-earth and friendly. A lot of our regulars, we have a lot of regulars, they come in, they'll grab their own silverware and menu and sit down, and some people help themselves to coffee. It's just feeling comfortable and knowing people by name, knowing orders, things like that.
Part of the nostalgia, for some, comes from the incredible history of the building.
It was actually an old pool house. Up here we have an original sign. This was like the locker room area, and where our dining room is where the pool was. We have a lot of people that have come in that used to swim here as a kid, and they'll tell us stories about, you know, boys and girls weren't allowed to swim at the same time, emptying out the pool every day and filling it back up.
One of the keys to the cafe's success is their policy on paying employees.
Each year we increase our minimum wage. It's currently at $10, and that helps with not only retaining employees, but having them be able to feel secure and safe in their job and want to be here.
The Trolley Car Cafe is continuing to grow and make good on its promise of delicious, healthy meals for all its customers. For Just Next Door, I'm Ann Wickersham.
That just about wraps it up for this episode of Just Next Door. We hope you enjoy getting to know Philly a little bit better with us.
And check us out on Twitter at LaSalle TV Philly, and on YouTube also at LaSalle TV Philly. We hope and welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions there.
For Just Next Door, I'm Khadijah Quaida.
And I'm Jay Goodson. Thanks for watching.